All right, welcome to another episode of Let There Be Talk, the Bitchin Files, and it is 2:30 on a Tuesday, live in concert. Spicer and I are here at the All Things Comedy Studio. How are you, buddy?
I'm great, dude, in the beautiful All Things Comedy Studio. How are you? You're black on black on black.
Yeah. I woke up early this morning, and it was kind of cold.
It was.
Yeah, it was, it was like in the 50s, and I was riding out to Margaret Cho's house to interview her this morning. So I was bundled up in the jacket and stuff, and I was glad I did. Stepped out of the house for a minute with just like a flannel. I was like, oh, no, it's cold.
Yeah. Dude, were you out yesterday? There was like a...
windstorm. It was like a death.
20-minute, right?
Yeah, right?
I got huge rain, like out east, right? I mean, it was like pouring, and like the wind was whipping around, and then like 20 minutes later, it was sunny again, and I was just like, what the fuck?
It's supposed to rain tomorrow.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Crazy.
But yeah, that wind yesterday...
insane.
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I went to lunch with a buddy. I rode there just in Studio City.
Yeah.
Killer day out.
Yeah.
Come out of lunch an hour later, just fucking crazy hurricane winds. I'm going down Ventura Boulevard like what is this?
You got to get a bike with a sidecar just to keep you planted in the wind.
By the time I got home, though, it was like over.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's so fucking weird how something like that could blow in just out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was weird. LA weather, you guys.
I keep saying, I said it on my podcast and everybody tweeted it, but wind is just a dick.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the wind.
Yeah.
I never hear anybody go, I need a beautiful windy day.
No, you want a breeze.
Yeah.
No one wants a full-blown wind.
Wind sucks.
Yeah.
Wind sucks. Anyway, we're back from La Jolla. We had a great weekend out there, La Jolla Comedy Store. And it was, I said it on my podcast Monday, but it felt like the first shows really where, a lot of people are coming out from the podcast and just tweets and stuff. So it felt good. The rooms were full.
Yeah. Also, to say on this record, which I've said publicly many a time before, Dean, you're the best dude. You think I might be joking, but one, the weekend was incredible. Thank you for taking me down there.
Yeah,
with
we had
you.
a great time.
And then also, you're not even there, and another buddy has the best weekend of his fucking life because of you as well. And those are just two examples.
Oh yeah,
of this past weekend. Like, everybody knows you work hard and you're a great comic and you know rock and bikes and all this shit. But when push comes to shove, like, you're the reason that people aren't afraid of dudes with tattoos anymore, because you're just the nicest fucking guy.
Oh man, I don't know if I want that. Right?
I'm sorry, it's tough shit. It's the label you wear on your back in Old English. It just says nice.
Oh, what a great weekend though. Well, first of all, I've been planning to sell my CDs, and if you're listening to this episode, I really want to target on this a little bit. I have no CD player. I haven't had a CD player in about 6 years. When the one broke inside my Mac, Apple MacBook, the original idea of me, of course, early on was collect all the CDs I could after vinyl, love them, and they were easy to store and all that. But over the last 6 years, I have not listened to a CD because I had that old thought of mine of like, and most people did until streaming came around, of, well, I'm not just going to buy it on iTunes because I want to own it, which is true. You want to own something in case iTunes crashes or whatever, and you lost all your shit you bought on iTunes, let's say. Or later on, I remember Wozniak saying that cloud computing is bullshit because what'll happen is you'll put all your shit up in the cloud, and then they'll trap you a lot like cell phones did, where they realize you need data, and they'll slowly raise the price for storage.
Sure.
Which is an amazing thing coming from Steve Wozniak. So my idea was always own it, so I'd buy the CD, rip it, put it into iTunes, then put it up into my shelves. You've been to my house.
Yeah.
Just hundreds and hundreds of shelves. And then they sat there for years. And I realized as I moved, I had over a couple thousand CDs.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, I enjoyed looking at them more than anything because I was like, I fucking forgot about this band. Like Rooney.
Yeah.
I pulled out Rooney or The Stills or Jet. All these bands, I call them Coachella purchases. After Coachella, you run home and you go, God, that band was great.
Yeah.
And you probably maybe don't listen to it ever again. And then you put it on and you're like, God, this shit is pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got all those CDs, and my plan was to sell them. I went to Amoeba, and they said, yeah, about a quarter to 50 cents a piece.
Yeah.
And DVDs, 50 cents. DVDs really make me pissed off, because those things are like 30 fucking bucks.
Yeah, but no one wants them.
And no one wants them, and they were given $1, maybe, on some. 50 cents on a DVD. Where the music's still kind of worth something to them, 50 cents, you know, but you maybe only bought it for 10. So I shopped around. I happened to be in San Diego. I asked this record store, "What do you give?" And he said, anywhere from $1 to $5. I was like, $1 to $5. So I boxed up my CDs, and they'd been in the living room just there like bad furniture for about 4 months, plotting this drive down, you and I, to do the shows and bring them in. The day comes, you show up, we pack your ride, we fill your Prius.
I have a regular Prius, not the brand new one, like whatever. Most people know what a Prius looks like. And I have 2 kids, so I usually have car seats in there. And I was like, yeah, no worries. I'll take the car seats out. It'll be easy. I get there and I'm like, fuck, dude. I mean, we made it fit, but it wasn't easy.
Oh, no, we left 2 boxes home. We did, remember? Because I was just like, oh, fuck it. And I forgot we left 2 boxes home until I got home. And I was like, oh, wow, I actually have 5 boxes of CDs still. So we bring them down there, and we bring them to the guy.
Yeah.
And he says, you got to leave these for a couple days. There's no way I can go through them. And I mean, there's a couple thousand.
Yeah.
And this is straight on the honor program with this guy, because I'm not sitting there watching him as you usually go with like 50.
Yeah.
They stack them in front of you real quick. These are a quarter. Those are 80 cents and $1, whatever.
Right.
We leave him. We go do shows. He calls me Saturday afternoon and says, okay, I got a check for $1,000 for you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, right on, man. And I show up, and he goes, and I didn't take those 3 boxes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait a minute. I got $1,000 and 3 boxes still. So it was a great weekend. And I just don't use CDs, and you don't either. We stream.
Yeah.
And it's, to me, the life of a $9.99 streaming each month over, like if you just buy 1 CD a month,
Right.
you've already paid for the streaming, you know? And I always grab people like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, either buy vinyl or stream.
Sure.
You know?
Well, to me, vinyl, we talked about this weekend. Like, vinyl to me is like a craftsman home or like an old Spanish house. Like, the albums look dope when they came out. They were works of art. People were framing records in their house. You know, when the first record came out, it holds up. So as a thing to display, it looks beautiful. People have loved the sound of them since the day of release. People have loved the idea of it's hard to skip. So you're listening to a record as an experience. Like, all this stuff has stuck around. I'll finish that later.
Yeah, let's grab the call. Hey, what's going on? You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, this is Chris from New York.
What's going on, dude?
Hey, man. Thanks for taking the call. So, yeah, I was hearing you talk about CDs and your use of, downloading and all that. So I just wanted to kind of chime in, if that's all right.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Do you buy CDs?
Here and there, yeah. I came to the conclusion that I like CDs for certain types of music, because with LPs, if you have, like, classic records like Ramones' Subterranean Jungle, right?
Yep,
It's a real thin-sounding record. So you have to buy that weight to put on the LP to give it some more bass. And if you kind of put the CD in a car, it'll really kick,
Yeah,
And as far as the box of CDs, it's funny because when I was in high school, somebody must have died, because I was at a friend's place, and we went outside, and it was the original Beastie Boys, like 10-inch, and
oh, wow,
like Bauhaus original, and I can go on and on. It was in that vein of really rare good stuff, and that's how I discovered, a love of LPs before it became fashionable now.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people get into that addiction of I need it remastered and booming, and to me, if you grew up the first wave with the records, they just sound normal to me. You know what I mean? I don't roll over and go, this needs way more bass. Because to me, that's how the band decided to put it out. Maybe they ran out of money while they were mixing or mastering. And that's the beauty of that project. You know what I mean? And the soul of it. I always hate when bands go and remaster shit, unless it was like a really bad low volume thing, where you got to turn your shit up on like 8. But I like when the record just sounds like it did. Like those Beatles mono are worth a lot of money because they sound so fucking cool and weird,
Mm-hmm.
I think it made it fun too then to see the band live, because you even like Beastie Boys, where all of their shit I thought sounded fantastic as released, but it still sounds so different the few times I saw them live, and you're close and those speakers are just like blaring in your face every time they hit a bass drop or whatever, and you're just like, I can throw my CDs away. Like, and never listen to it not like this again.
Yeah, also, another weird thing is if you're buying any reissued records of, I never thought about this, but Marin made the point of if you're buying, like, say, Guns N' Roses Illusion records on vinyl, those were never mastered for vinyl because that was after vinyl. So that's a weird thing, too, because unless they're going in and remastering it from the 2-inch tape and cutting it to vinyl, they're just cutting it off the glass master, and you might as well just play the CD,
Then it's the art, right? Then you want to have the
totally.
thing, and then maybe the scratch of the player that adds that air to it.
How many records you got, man?
Over 100.
Yeah, it's easy to do, right?
Yeah, no, it really is, and I find myself collecting music for all different types because I'll listen from everything, just everything. I've got, like, right in front of me, I've got the Bauhaus, like I said, because I just went and saw Peter Murphy live. I like Jessica Pratt. She does acoustic folk music. If you're into sad stuff, and like Old Doors. And Record Store Day, I got Doors live at the Aquarius.
Oh, that's an incredible record.
Yeah.
That's an incredible record, that record right there.
They have, it's a clear vinyl, 180 gram, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And it has the sound check, like over 10 minutes of sound check on like the second record of it.
That's
so it's pretty
dope.
Cool.
That Doors one and the Doors live at the Matrix Club in San Francisco are must-owns.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's seek that out.
And because of you, like I bought Lanigan on vinyl.
So good, man, right? That guy's voice. Wow. I got Cheap Trick live in Budokan, Record Store Day.
I saw it, yeah.
It's their most famous record, but at the time they only released a single record. Now it's dual the whole concert. So I sat down and listened to it yesterday, and I was like, this is fucking phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. Thank God for Record Store Day. That's so cool.
Now that you have a car, you can listen to CDs in your car.
Sold the car. Sold the car. Oh,
shit, already?
Yeah. And it did have
You're back on the bike.
Yeah, and it had a CD player, which was hilarious because Spicer, I was like, look, it's got a CD player. Like, which, by the way, Spice, I forgot to tell you, I got a bunch of CDs for you, but you're going to sell yours.
I was going to say, why are you giving me your CD?
Yeah. No, these were like, some guy made me a mix of all kinds of great shit of multi-bands and everything. Anyway, thanks for calling in, dude.
Oh, yeah, no problem. And one last thing,
Yep.
I just wanted to get your opinion on this, because you mentioned 90s bands that you rediscovered in your CD collection, like Rooney.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I just remember, like, Rooney got the stamp of approval from Johnny Ramone at the time when they were getting hot, I guess. And, I just was thinking, like, there's nothing that's going to be as wild as Ramone's lyrics again, it seems like, because even though these bands were approved by these guys from the 70s, it just didn't seem like anybody had that originality. And kind of craziness behind them. But
there's stuff
you know,
out there. It's just harder to surface. I was playing it for Dean earlier. There's this band, and they're not new, but I had not heard of them. But they're more of like a hardcore punk called Turnstile, and they have a song that when you hear it, you're like, oh, this is Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Like you could play this song for somebody and be like, oh shit, new Rage. And there's stuff like that too, and it's not necessarily out of SoCal anymore. But it's weird because music is everywhere. I think it's easier to find stuff. It almost makes it harder to find stuff, if that makes sense.
Also harder to be, it's impossible to be original. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's got to be flavors of originality. Like when I see the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, I worship Karen O. I think she's one of the top 5 front persons I've ever seen. But I get the flavors.
Yeah.
You know, it's Missing Persons, it's Blondie, it's Iggy Pop. I see it. But when you can roll it into your own thing, that's what's great. If it's an identical replica of something, then you're fucked. You know? That's why Rival Sons is so great.
Yeah, definitely. And I think even of the time of Blondie or whatever, I think if you were in that era of music, people, the only way you can describe something is by describing it, what it's like or what it's not like. So you're like, oh yeah, Elvis. Elvis is great, but he's kind of like this black gospel group with this little doo-wop and this, you know, that's how we compare and contrast things. So it's hard to find originality without it having anything to compare to, because then I don't think your brain could comprehend what you're hearing.
I like when people say they sound like nobody else. I'm like, come on, man. It's 2016.
Oh, no. Nobody Else was the band from 2014.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate the call, dude. Thank you for tuning in and kick ass, man.
Oh, thank you very much. And again, as far as 90s, one last thing.
Yep.
Sponge. Go
Sponge.
and talk about them if you have any.
I know Sponge
opinions.
quite well. That CD with that weird dude on the cover with like oranges on the face or whatever it was.
Ronnie Piñata.
Yeah, it's a great record. It's a great record.
Cloud. I think Cloud is one of the best hard rock songs ever, and they had a lot of personality. But, you know, I saw them. They're still touring out of Detroit, so
it's amazing.
Cool.
Like, I put that Rooney CD on, which, by the way, it's available for streaming, which was cool. I was like, oh, that's what I started doing. I started looking at all these CDs, and I go, this got to be out of print. I'll sell it on eBay. It's rare. Nope, it's on fucking eBay, or on streaming. But Rooney sounds, so people were going like, oh, that's supposed to be the West Coast answer to the Strokes. They're nothing like that. They were way more like Jellyfish to me. Heavy Beatles harmonies and a lot of diminished chords and stuff. But, man, they had 2 songs on that record, one being Blue Side, and I forget the other one. But what a great fucking record. It's got an American bear on it if you're looking for it on like a California flag bear. But I think what hurt them was they were all over that show, The O.C.
Yeah.
So that made it cheese, you know what I mean? But I saw them live a couple times, and they were fucking good. If you're singing and playing and doing 3-part harmonies, no one does that, so it's great to see.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks a lot for taking the call again. God bless you guys.
Yeah,
Take care.
See you later, man.
Later, man.
See you.
Anyway.
So I was saying, vinyl is like a craftsman. It's looked good. It sounded good. People have enjoyed it for forever. And then a CD came out, and a CD is like that brick mansion in the suburbs in like the 90s, or like a 90s ranch or 70s ranch style home. When it's built, you're like, oh, these are so great. And then 10 years later, you're like, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah. It's so funny to think, too. I was talking to you about how much money, hard-earned money I spent on those CDs and how disconnected I was from them on Friday. There was at no point I was like, oh, they're gone.
Yeah.
I was just more like, and remember what the guy said? He goes, looks like you're doing a full-blown cleansing. The guy there in the place. But
do you remember your first CD, the first CD you ever bought?
You know, because when I think it was the...
Because they used to come in those
I
big
think it was
cardboard
Illusion
boxes.
2.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they were so much money. They were $20. The long cardboard, so you couldn't steal them, I guess.
Yeah.
And there was only, I said it over and over, there's only like 15 bands that were on CD.
Yeah.
You know? Like there was like Eagles' Greatest Hits. But I think it was Illusion 2.
I think I was Boys to Men and Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Like the same day. And I was like, I had saved up for forever.
Wow.
And I was
there
like,
was so much money. It was harsh.
like $25, I think, or something like that.
It was real.
for me is Queen's Greatest Hits.
Queen.
The
Oh, that's
maroon cover. Yeah.
what a great record.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to think. And the record company is doing the exact fucking thing they did back when the CDs came out. They're like, oh, this is a whole new revenue. Everything else is dead. We're going to charge $25 for it. And I just read a big story, I think it was in New York Times, about that's what they're doing with vinyl now. And they're killing these record stores because they're charging so much that the record store has to charge like $30 a record.
Yeah.
And then when people don't buy them, they've got this massive amount of fucking
Like inventory to sell.
yeah, that's like, you know, of course we're gonna buy the classics,
Right.
but we're talking about all these bands that are putting out vinyl now. Like let's say Beyonce Lemonade comes out on vinyl, and then they order like 5,000 of them, and then it's dead in a week because most people steal music still.
Yeah.
Then they've got a shelf full of these Beyonce that no one's going to buy because it's not classic.
Right.
It's not going to be like a Doors record where people always want that, or even, you know, newer stuff like Strokes, White Stripes, or
I would say like that Beyonce album might. I mean, it's she reinvents herself every
right.
time.
I get it.
But
I'm
like
saying
M83,
that's a bad example. I'm
M83's
just saying.
junk.
Yeah, I'm
Like
just saying.
great album out right now on vinyl. A year from now, is anyone going to be looking for M83 junk? Probably not, because it's kind of like a in-between album. It's not like their breakthrough album.
Right.
It's just this thing, but they're a very hot band. So I would see a store ordering a lot of them, like you said. And now what do you do with that? It's weird.
Yeah,
it's a tough
It's
spot.
becoming a lot like movies where you have to really sell the day it comes out.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
all
and
it's
that's
about
it.
now.
Yeah.
It's like a cash grab. Hope they're excited, get it, and move on. I really like Record Store Day because of bands really they take the time to figure out what's going to be super crazy rare, and boom, that shit is gone. Like, I got the Grateful Dead Live 77 New Jersey. I put it on yesterday, because we were gone all weekend. It was there when I got home. And it was like, wow, this fucking thing is incredible. And that Cheap Trick, incredible. And the Doors and the White Stripes that was released. White Stripes has got to be one of the hottest vinyl releases whenever it's out, because Jack White's a king of vinyl. All their shit was great. And they put out these Peel sessions. That is insane. Gone instantly. You know?
Do you think it's good that things are released in that limited of a quantity? Where is that pro-consumer because they're kind of cheap, like Record Store Days, this is the time to do it? Or does it just fuck people because then you have, you know, scalpers that get there at 4 a.m. or hire people to get there
It's
at 4
like
a.m.
a lot like sneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what is that line of like, you do it for the hardcore, so not just, oh, it's 4 p.m, I guess I'll go over here. Like, you want it to be something to be excited about, but at the same time, I don't want to spend $8,000 on eBay for the White Stripes record, or whatever it is.
They're smart. What they do is they release it on Record Store Day in like let's say that Doors, it was in clear vinyl.
Yeah.
And boom, there's 8,000 made. They're gone. In about 6 months, they re-release it, but just in black with the normal packaging and stuff. So if you really want the music and everything, you can still get it for like $20 instead. You know. So at least they're doing that, because you don't want the people doing that, like, well, you missed that, because then people start losing interest in records. Like, well, fuck,
or stealing it again.
I had to work, and then it was on sale, and there was kids in line, like Biddlecombe and Josh Martin. They stayed in line all night at Amoeba. So it was cool to talk to them about what that was like.
And I don't mind them doing it because they're buying it for them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you see the schlubby dude.
Yeah.
He looks like the Simpsons comic book guy or whatever. Just clearly, like if you're not in Hollywood, if you're able to watch like a red carpet event, and you see, it looks like all these fans. There are maybe like 10 fans, and then there are like 1 million professional autograph seekers. And they're like these just like gross-looking dudes, like, well, I'll sign this for my
eBay stuff.
Yeah, and it's just shit.
Yeah, I've been with celebrities when we come out from a restaurant, and there's a guy out there, and he's got like 40 items.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, 2 item.
Yeah.
2 item maximum, you know? You're not a fan.
Right, yeah.
You know? That is a fucking weird thing, and I think I talked about it before on here. I never understood buying an autograph. I never understood. getting an autograph, I understand. You're a fan. I got James Hetfield's autograph once, and I semi knew him from the day. But there was a point to me where I had the laminate pass, and it was New Year's Eve. They're playing Vegas, and he was sitting there, and I was like, you know what? It'd be cool to have him sign this thing. So later on in life, I was like, yeah, you know. And I asked him, and he's like, really? You know, he was like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when I asked Burr to take a picture with him. He's like, really?
Yeah.
But I cherish the moments. You
Right.
know what I mean? As I was unpacking at the new house, there was years and years of stuff I hadn't seen. Yesterday, I found a ticket stub from when I saw Tom Waits and T-Bone Burnett do a special benefit for their friend who went to prison for selling acid. He's doing life because he was arrested. He wasn't even selling it. It was just a sheet of acid for him and his buddies back in the 70s. And the DEA the way they did it was they weighed the paper, and you got like 10 years per, whatever measurement. Some stupid fucking thing. And the guy's doing life in prison. So they did a benefit for him in 96. It was one of the most insane shows I've ever seen. It was at a Healdsburg kind of Elks Club thing.
Yeah.
Seated like maybe 150.
Wow.
Tickets were 196. A lot of fucking money, but you got a poster, and you were 3 feet away from Tom Waits. I found that ticket stub yesterday as I was still going through all the shit, and I was like, wow. And I sat down for a minute. I shot a photo of it, put it on Instagram, and guys were like, oh, yeah, I looked that up. It was here and there. And I was like, yeah, man. And another thing, too, yesterday I realized I had saw Prince on the Love Sexy tour.
Oh, shit.
I was watching YouTube clips.
Yeah.
And I went, fuck, I forgot I saw that tour. I've seen Prince so many times and I forgot. My point is, like, I enjoy collecting shit, and I never understood stuff where people bought something with an autograph on it. Don't you think that's weird?
I'm of two minds. Part of me wholeheartedly agrees with you. I think it is weird. But then part of me, I see it like buying the clear Doors vinyl.
Right.
Because anyone, let's say they do reissue a black standard one, and anyone can have that. And so it's like anyone could own a Peyton Manning jersey, right? Anyone can go to whatever your sporting goods store, Dick's Sporting Goods, and buy that jersey. But if you have the money to buy one that online that he signed, it's a little more limited because he hasn't signed all of them.
The conversation always goes like this. It's in a frame. You're in the house, and you go, wow, Peyton Manning jersey? Signed? Did you meet him? And then this. No. Immediately, conversation is over.
Yeah.
Because the guy is up ready like, how did that happen? What was he like? Where were you?
Yeah.
All that. And he's just like, nah, eBay, because I'm a techie.
Yeah.
And I get it. I just always tripped out on it, you know? It's so bizarre. Now, if you went to a mall and paid for the guy to do it, still cool. You met him.
Still meeting him.
You can say whatever you wanted to say. Like, I remember Pete Rose. I told this story on somebody's podcast. I was in Vegas, and I was doing shows, so I happened to be in the mall. He walked by. I was like, holy shit, Pete Rose.
Yeah.
Now, Pete Rose is back from when I liked sports, so immediately I want to meet that guy. I said, hey, Pete Rose, man, what's going on? He's all, hey, I go, hey, can I get a photo? And he goes, 25. And I go, 25? And he goes, I can't take a picture right here because see that line? And we were going around a turn. He goes, they're all paid. And I was like, damn, 25. Not worth it. Not worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was fun. And then I was trying to ninja one. You know what I mean?
Oh, but let me answer my phone real quick.
Yeah. I mean, I should have done it actually just because Pete Rose is such a gangster. You know?
I don't think I've ever bought an autograph, but at the same time, I think what I try to keep my head pointed at is if it's someone else's money and it makes them happy.
I get it.
Who am I
totally.
to judge? At the same
I'm
time,
not judging anyone. I'm just saying I don't understand it.
Right.
Because it's just such a weird, that thing of in a house and it's autographed. And then also, is it really him?
Right.
I always think about that. It's like when people buy used Rolexes on eBay. I'm like, is that real?
Yeah.
In the back of your mind, it's always like, is that a real autograph? And they have a dumb thing, stupid certificate.
Yeah.
This is a certificate saying this is an authentic autograph. And it's like, that certificate is about as authentic as that autograph. You made both of them. You know, you know what I mean?
What if? So two quick stories.
Yep.
First, I have bought one. I just remember I
You
did buy
did?
one. I was in middle school, and we had like a silent auction to benefit the school.
Yeah.
And I was in the Bay Area at the time, and they had this dope. It was like the mint or replica of the mint of the cards used to press the upper deck. I think it was upper deck cards for the Warriors that year, and it was signed. And I was like, oh shit!
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I loved.
That's different.
I loved it, and I was like, this is awesome. And I was in, I think, 6th grade, so I was a smart kid. I could read, but I had also never seen Chris Mullin's signature before.
Yeah.
But I read Chris, and it was right by Chris Mullin's card.
Yeah.
And I put all of my fucking allowance money in this thing, and I won it, and I was so excited. And at the end of the silent auction, they read it out, and they were like, and the signed Warriors plaque signed by Chris Gatlin, and I was like, motherfucker.
Chris
No
Gatlin.
one wants Chris Gatlin. Sure enough, Chris Gatlin and Chris Mullin were like here, and Chris Gatlin was a fine player, but
Yeah,
like,
but it ain't flat top Mullen.
Yeah,
who
no
was
one-
fucking redefining the game at the time, you know?
yeah, Whitey from
that-
Beyond the Arc.
Yeah, that whole era in San Fran. I remember I got a flat top. It was so funny. It was so bad. And when Burr does jokes about he'll say something like, "You see that dick with the '80s Terminator 2 flat top." I remember I went to this barbershop in San Fran in the Richmond district, and they had the poster. You ever go to a barbershop and they have the heads?
Yeah.
And it's like flat top with fenders, ducktail. It's like from the 50s.
Yeah, where's that picture on Instagram of that haircut?
Yeah, and I realized early on, these dicks can't do these haircuts. And there's another thing about a flat top. You have a square head once you have it. It looked dope on Chris Mullen, right?
Yeah.
How dope did it look?
It was great.
But his was fucking cool. If you don't have thick hair
Yeah.
to make it look like a shape, it's like if you tried to do the Gumby and you just had a bad fro, it wouldn't work. You got to have killer hair.
You gotta have, yeah.
So I remember I got it, and I got home, and I was like, God, this is terrible. And I had my own shavers, and it was just like, I just cut it off. And then I couldn't see in the back. There was a patch I missed. And I remember I was out that night. My buddy's like, what's going on with your hair, dude? You got like a quarter back here of hair. There's just a quarter back there. Dude, Chris Mullen. What were they called? The Run CMT or something? They had the...
Oh, I don't
It
know.
was like Run DMC, but they had the guys, you know.
Yeah, I just know it was.
Nelly was coach.
Oh, so good.
They had
And
the
then-
Bolt. Did I ever tell you the Bolt story?
No.
Well, you remember their mascot was the Bolt.
Yeah.
And I would go to the Warriors games, and that was back when like no one was really there, you know. It's kind of like early Giants games.
They were good in that era. They were like first round playoff loss.
Yeah. That
in
was
area.
after that, though. I'm saying that was really good, but right after they lost the team, there
when
was just
Weber choked the fuck out of the coach.
yeah,
at the end of the era.
Yeah, and I think he went to the Kings.
Yeah.
But I would go, and they had a mascot called the Bolt.
Ugliest costume.
Ugliest costume ever. And then the Warriors had the ugliest uniforms. In the middle of the arena, they had the Bolt. Everything about it sucked. And
If they were good, we would have loved it.
Yeah.
If they weren't good, like you
Yeah.
could be shitty and have like the old Bullets logo and be like, "Yay, it's so
Yeah.
great," but they were bad.
So I used to rip on the Bolt all the time because he'd be out there. He would do tricks and
Yeah.
he'd shoot shirts into the stands. And one day when I started comedy like 6 years ago, my first year in, I was hanging a lot at the Laugh Factory, and I was out front, and this guy was next to me, and he did comedy. And I said, hey, man, where you from? He goes, Bay Area. I go, oh, me too, man. He's like, oh, yeah, right on, man. We start talking. He goes, you into the Warriors, Golden State Warriors? And I go, you know, I used to love them, man. And then they got that Bolt, and it was just so fucking dumb. I just couldn't take it. And the guy looked at me, and he goes, I was the Bolt. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Siddiqui Fuller was a
shit.
comedian.
Yeah.
He was the Bolt.
Damn.
And I'm like, what are the odds? I'm clowning the Bolt. I go, could be the worst mascot, shitty outfit and everything. It was him. He was the Bolt. And I fucking couldn't believe I was eating shit in front of the Bolt.
I think he had to know his outfit was shitty. That's still not. I bet it was a pretty
Yeah.
sweet gig.
It was just weird, though, to look
Right.
at it and he goes, I was the bull. It'd be like shitting on like a guy that was Bigfoot at Universal Studios for years. Like that fucking dumb guy goes, I was Bigfoot. It was. I mean, what are the odds?
Yeah.
The guy's a comedian. I meet him 20 years later. I love you, Siddiqui Fuller. Anyway, that was great, man. Oh.
So then one I have bought one. It was
Okay.
that. Second question, again, just you personally. What about like Babe Ruth?
Well,
Like,
that's
there's no way you can get it,
right.
and it's on, whatever, like an old Yankees hat.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah, that's but my in the back of my head, I'm always, is this real? If I could see the chain of events.
Yeah.
He signs it for a dude. You see the photo. The dude's grandson selling it to you. And still in my head, I'm like, maybe he had like 4 made. A guy could fucking mimic it exact.
Sure.
I'm always skeptical on the signatures too. And when you look at signatures, you can Google, like
Right.
say Babe Ruth. Later on, Babe Ruth was maybe drunk. His signature was different.
Mine looks totally different from 10 years ago. I'm
Totally.
doing the same thing, but
Right.
it's not the same
So
signature.
it changes, and now you're like, well, this doesn't look at all like that. And they go, well, this is later on, Babe Ruth, and you're like, it just, to me, I'm always kind of skeptical. And as you get older, and believe me, I don't go signatures anymore. I go photo.
Sure.
Because I love photos, and it's an Instagram world, of course. And I read somewhere
It's a
recently.
click economy.
Yeah, I was reading where there's a great Jim Norton interview somewhere, and the person's breaking him down. They said, his insane sexual habits, his crazy his diet, and his obsession with getting photos with celebrities, and I get that too, because it's not meeting the celebrity. It's if they inspired me in life. I'm
Sure.
so fired up. Like, holy shit, I just met Louis C.K., let's say, and I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn, that's cool. And I took a photo with him. And I'm a comedian. Some people try to play it cool, like I'm in the same biz. I don't get hot for that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I don't believe in that. People inspire me, and I fucking love what they do. And
Yeah.
I got a photo with them.
Yeah.
Wow, look. and I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I opened for Louis last week, by the way, and I didn't talk about it all week because I did the Prince podcast, and I wanted it to be strictly about Prince. And then yesterday, I didn't talk about it, but I opened for Louis on Wednesday, and it was absolutely the highlight of my life.
Yeah.
It is just, when you see a man 8 years ago in a comedy club, and he fucking absolutely makes you laugh your head off, and 2 years later you start comedy because of that man, and then 6.5 years later you're opening for that guy.
Yeah.
It's it was fucking insane.
And it also helps the fact that that guy is, arguably, everybody has a different list,
Yeah.
but the #1 comedian working today. I
Right.
mean, like, it'd still be a dope story if you were like,
Yeah.
and I saw Sue at a comedy club,
Yeah.
and then she inspired me. And now here I am 6 years later opening for Sue Sewerston. Like,
Yeah.
still a cool story, but everyone's like, who the fuck is? But it's
Well-
like, it shows like the inspiration, the work ethic, the climb, the reward. It's a type of thing that like an aspiring comic can look at, and it can be the reason why they get into it. Like, this
Yeah.
shit can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't.
It can happen. well, by the way, the Mount Rushmore of comedy for me is, Marin, Burr, C.K., Rock, Chappelle, and now I've worked with all 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really work with Chris Rock in a way. I brought him up, though, when he was popping in at the store. And that was fucking crazy,
Yeah.
because of me seeing him at the Paramount Theater and all that. And it was funny when I said, this guy, I saw him 15 years ago, and I was like, I want to do comedy. And here I am doing comedy, and I'm bringing him up. That shit is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it's never going to get old to me. Never, because those guys, no matter what, are the dudes, the reasons I love comedy.
Yeah.
Of course, I loved it when I was young.
Sure.
But, these are the guys that push me every day to be better, and they're great humans,
Yeah. I mean, to me, I don't know if I've ever said this before, but my where I still feel like a kid in a candy store. Like, there's great interviews with Don Mattingly saying how much he still loves the game of baseball. And for me, as a working comic, when it happens to me, every show, no matter what show it is, and then watching like big name people do it too, the thing that just gets me giddy every single day is the interaction between comics on stage when they bring each other up.
Yeah.
Because there's the set, and the comic ends with their closer or whatever, have a good night. And then this next guy, he's got a great podcast called Let There Be Talk. Please welcome to the stage, Dean Delray. I kind of step away from the mic. I let the audience, have their moment applauding. You come up, and whether it's a handshake, a pound, a couple of words or whatever, I love that interaction because it's something that is so special between you and that other comic. Even if it's just a dab or whatever.
That's a
It's the
crazy bond
coolest
right
thing.
there, yeah.
And I love watching it. I love watching like Judd Apatow bring up Sarah Silverman. I don't know what they say. They
Yep.
might just be like, kill it. They're not great. But you have a moment and there's a connection. Even if it's at an open mic and the host brings you up, I always cherish that moment because it's so unique to what we do.
Yeah.
And so, bringing up rock, to me, that's almost... that's up there. That'd be like the most special thing.
It was insane.
When I brought up Burr, I've told the story. I brought up Burr, and then
you fell over all the shit.
he was giving me like just heaping praise on me, and then I knocked a fucking table over, and he just laid into me for 4 minutes, which is hysterical. But that moment, I was just like, this is it. And we say like 2 little words to each other off mic, and it's the fucking best.
I'll tell you the amazing thing. A lot of people were like, "Man, did Louis call and ask you to open up or whatever?" And Louis doesn't do that, That would have been incredible if he did. But it meant more to me that Adam at the store called me to open because you're working and working and working your ass off, and you get to some brick walls where you're just smashing into the brick wall over and over, and you say to yourself, does anybody see this hard work going down? That's what you say to yourself over and over. And that call from him, and it happened on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. The show was at it happened at 7:30. Show was at 8:30. He said, "Hey, where are you?" And I said, "Home." And he said, "How far are you from the store?" And I said, "Oh, 10 minutes." And he said, "Can you open for Louis tonight?" And my arm hair shot off my fucking thing. And I said, "Dude, that's a dream of mine."
But you said that in person. You literally got there so quick.
Yeah,
You're like,
when I pulled up, he said, "How the fuck did you get here so quick?" And I go, "Dude, this is I've been waiting to do this since the day I did comedy." And he goes, "I mean, you must have just thrown your clothes on and got here." And I go, "Yeah, I did. I was just laying in bed, and it was 7:30 at night. I threw my clothes on." He goes, "I can tell your shirt's on inside out." And my shirt was inside out, man. I was like, "Oh my God." That's how fucking fired up I was. And then I was just in the parking lot walking back and forth because I was like, I can't even believe this is about to happen. And I remember Louis pulled up and I went backstage. I didn't want to bother him.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to go on. He came in and it was me, Judd Apatow, and Louis.
That's great.
I was like, wow. And Judd was in the dressing room. I didn't want to say a word to him. I knew he was going over his notes, and I was looking at my shit, what I wanted to do. It's totally sold out. And then Louis came in, and I said, "Man, you're the reason I do comedy. I rode a motorcycle here," and I kept hoping I didn't get run over on the way because I was thinking, like, he had it going on, man. Shit was happening, and then he got ran over. He's about to open for Louis. I told him that story, and he was laughing. When I got off, he said, "Hey, great job, man."
Yeah.
So, I mean, wow.
Just be glad you had pants on. 'Cause you have money, like you're hauling ass over the hill.
Over
got, like, your
World
jacket
Canyon,
on, just
no pants.
Dick out or whatever.
It was a great fucking day, man.
Yeah.
Fuck. Wow. What time is it, man? We'll get out of here.
3:19.
Yeah. Before we do, let's. I was going to talk about one thing. Oh, I'm going to be in Reno.
Yeah.
May 17th through the 22nd. People keep asking where. It's at the Laugh Factory at the Silver Legacy Casino. And then I will be headlining that for a week. And then I'm doing 5 nights in Denver at the Comedy Works. 5 nights. June 28th through July 2nd. If you live in Denver or Boulder or anyway, please come out. I'd love to see you guys. This is one of the most prestigious rooms, and it's the second time I'm headlining it, and I
awesome.
fucking love the place.
Yeah.
We had a good time, huh, in La Jolla?
It was great. Well, and the crowds, everybody there was It was perfect. It
Yeah.
was. It really was perfect. And like Coachella was going on. We had awesome fucking crowds. Like that didn't put a dent in anything.
Yeah, man.
Podcast fans, new fans. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
And also shout out to Mary on Instagram and Sarah Potatoes.
Yeah.
They came down to La Jolla Comedy Store, got a hotel room.
Yeah.
And came to the shows, man. The show, which is so cool. And also, God, I wish I remember his name. He came over from Tijuana.
Oh yeah.
That was great. Bought a shirt. I feel like a dick. I don't remember his name right now. Oh wait, I think I got it.
You can get it.
I want to give him a shout
Well,
out.
I can also
because,
just say thanks to Greg always.
oh, Greg, of course,
Fuck.
man, from El Cajon Harley.
Ballin'.
He brought everyone from the dealer.
Great.
And these are like some serious great fucking friends, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I want to find this guy's name. Do I have it? Oh, God, that would suck if I don't. Which, by the way, I just saw my things. I'm still trying to get Scott Ian from Anthrax on the podcast.
I'm still working on some shit, buddy. Oh, I put in the work today. I can't
Yeah?
say anything else. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
Jesus,
yeah.
That if it doesn't happen, you guys are better off not knowing. But if it happens, it'd be great.
Yeah, which, by the way, I took a picture with, I can't find this guy's name. I fucking feel bad.
We'll get it. It was an impromptu.
Yeah, we'll get it. Anyway, I took a picture with Josh Homme from Queens.
Yeah.
Josh says he'll do the podcast. He's going to do it. And I said, future episode coming up. And I can't believe every day people are like, when's that episode coming?
Yeah.
When is that? I mean, believe me, I want it to come as much as you guys do. And I should have saved the photo. But once again, I was excited. I was like, holy shit. Josh came to see Burr. And I opened the show and I was like, dude, you're a dream guest. And he really is. I mean,
Yeah.
to talk about dream guests from Caius all the way to, I mean, it's him, it's Jack White. These kind of guys are dream guests, you know?
Yeah.
Allison Mosshart, which, by the way, the new Kills record came out. Go get that. They destroyed a couple nights ago at the Mayan. Wow. What a great week of music it's been. Weezer played
Yeah,
the
Weezer too.
Troubadour on Monday.
Yeah.
Fuck, Biddlecombe saw that.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you got coming up?
I'm at the Improv, I think, on Saturday. I don't know what else this week. This week's weird. Out of town. I'm in Salt Lake City, May
Oh, yeah.
19th, 20th, whatever that weekend is. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll be in Salt Lake City. Best way to see that is just on my Twitter, @Spicer. And if you're a parent and you like podcasts, I have a well, it's not dumb. It's a lighthearted take on parenting podcast called Department of Parenting.
Kick ass.
Yeah.
And I will be at the Twinkle Twins show Thursday night, which is tonight when this drops. I drop Bitchins on Thursday. Tonight, 9 o'clock sharp. Dana Gould, me, Kyle Kinane, Arden. Who else is on that? Eddie Pepitone.
Oh, the best.
What a fucking lineup this is. Do not miss that. And then Saturday, I'll be at the Comedy Store with Bill Burr, 10:30 in the original room. And Sunday, I will be at the Comedy Store 9 p.m. Thank you guys for tuning in. Keep leaving those reviews. And if you want to donate, hit patreon.com/Dean Delray. Anything helps. Oh, and you got a Patreon. Hilarious. Spicer has a Patreon if you want nothing at all except just to roll your window down and throw a couple bucks out the window. That's what Spicer's Patreon is. You get nothing.
It's
not even a middle finger.
No, not a thank you. It started as a joke. I tweeted out, I'm
Why we're in La Jolla.
going to start my own subscription service, $2.99 a month, and you get nothing. No junk, no clutter like Loot Crate, no shows you need to binge watch like Netflix, nothing. And people are like, this is hysterical. And I was like, fuck it, I did it. So if you go to patreon.com/Christian Spicer and donate $2.99 a month, you will be an official subscriber and you will get nothing. I will not tweet at you thank you. I will not send you anything. You will not get a shirt. You will not get a button. You will not get anything. No TV show will be made.
Yeah.
You will get fuck all.
And if you do that, if you donate to him, I will hate you because I'm working my ass over here. And if you skip mine and go to his, I'm like, wow, that's a fuck you. All right, let's get out of here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you later.
Yeah, I'm making like $4,000 a month.